and greetings from Northumberland on the 21st of July. It's nearly the time for the harvest up here. The first of our fields are turning golden brown, the barley in the sun, and I expect that before the month is out we will see combine harvesters harvesting that crop. And the farmers will all be thinking, how much grain will we get out of the field this year? Has there been the right balance of rain and sunshine? Of course, they'll also say that there hasn't been quite enough of one or the other, but that's the way of talking to farmers. Today, in the Gospel, in Matthew chapter 13, Jesus is talking about grain. The parable is called so often the parable of the sower who goes out to sow, and the different places in which the grain falls. And of course, it's really the parable of the fields, of the different soils in which the grain falls, because the harvest, the fruit that the soil produces is dependent on the soil, not upon the grain. The grain's constant. God's gifts to us are constant. But what happens is dependent on ourselves. And I'm not going to go through all the different soils, whether it's hard or receptive or choked by other things. It's easy to understand the parable if we think of it in terms of what we are like and how we receive the word and the love of God. If you like, how we receive Jesus in our hearts. So today, as we read this parable of the different soils, let us pray that we may allow our hearts, our lives, to be open to the love of God which is scattered all over us. Not to be closed, not to be choked, not to be shallow, so that we might be fruitful, that we may yield a harvest not of grain, but a harvest of love and joy and peace and patience and gentleness and self-control, and all those things that God wants us to be fruitful in. May God bless us in that.